WAGGGS subject is the relationships between the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts and WOSM. I call upon Gabriela Derosa, member of the board of WAGGGS, to come to the lectern. She's accompanied by Thérèse Bermingham, member of the World Scout Committee. Gabriela and Thérèse, please.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of people, I'm afraid.
Don't worry, I'm beside you.
Okay, good afternoon, sisters and brothers in scouting and guidance. During the triennium that is coming to an end, we are pleased to report that collaboration between WOSM and WAGGGS as partner organizations continues smoothly. WAGGGS WOSM Consultative Committee meetings have taken place in Geneva and London over the triennium. The meetings are an important way of maintaining communications in an open and friendly environment, of exchanging updates on our activities and confirming our agreement to work together and improve cooperation. The Consultative Committee is made up of the chairpersons and 2 members of the World Scout Committee and of the WAGGGS World Board, plus the 2 chief executives. Luc Panisot was officially welcomed as a member of the Consultative Committee in March 2009, when he was appointed to the post of Secretary General of WOSM. The meetings of the Consultative Committee have been and continue to be an opportunity to have open discussions about our ways of work and to identify potential areas of partnership between WOSM and WAGGGS. Subjects discussed during this triennium have ranged from regional cooperation, the position of the Scouts and Guide national organizations, SEGNAS, in both organizations, our centenary celebrations, and our respective policies on suspension and termination of membership. We have also used these meetings to coordinate our involvement with the Alliance of Youth CEOs. The Alliance of Youth CEOs, which represents WAGGGS, WOSM, the YMCA and YWCA, the Youth Division of the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, and the International Award Association, is a platform for advocating for and with young people, promoting youth development and youth leadership to improve the lives of children and young people worldwide. Among its initiatives, the Alliance published a joint message commemorating the 60th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights on Human Rights Day, 10 December 2008. Discussions have included how the Alliance can work more strategically and strengthen in its global voice and impact on behalf of young people, and sharing ways to encourage greater cooperation among our member organizations at national and regional level. More recently, cooperation in relation to global UN and advocacy events has been discussed. A more dynamic mission statement and set of aims for the Alliance was agreed. The role of the Alliance in supporting young people in the follow-up to the Copenhagen Climate Summit and also the Millennium Development Goals was covered. This was followed by the launch of Climate Change, Take Action Now, a guide to supporting the local actions of children and young people, with special emphasis on girls and young women. The Alliance of Youth CEOs has been actively involved with activities of all 6 members in the last 3 years, creating a strong sense of confidence and partnership. Much of the work of WAGGGS and WOSM working in partnership is reflected in collaboration at regional level. Historically, this has been particularly the case in Europe, but good cooperation also exists elsewhere, such in the Asia-Pacific region. Although we focus on these 2 regions in this report, mainly to give examples of our collaborations, that does not mean that there is not good cooperation between WAGGGS and WOSM in other places as well. Within the European region, there were 7 joint meetings of both the WAGGGS and WOSM regional committees over the last triennium 2008-2010. The coordinating group of chairs, vice chairs, and regional directors also met regularly. The regional directors also met frequently to coordinate joint work and to develop new common approaches to some issues. This has continued to be a productive and supportive cooperation, contributing to a good understanding of common working methods between both staff teams. There were many opportunities for staff teams to work jointly over the triennium and to develop close working relationships, including a common staff development day in spring 2010. European bodies of both WAGGGS and WOSM have also worked closely with a common approach when contacted the Consultative Committee on specific issues relating to the region, and have been pleased to see that the issues in question had been tackled in similar joint vein at world level. Collaboration in the region also included attendance by the WAGGGS Europe chairperson at the European Scout Symposium in Hungary, a common approach to a number of countries with coordinated visits, including a joint messages, plus joint trainings or other support, a joint program of seminars and events, and the development of common toolkits such as the partnership guidelines, the child protection kit, and briefing papers. Joint network on growth, North-South relations, and youth council representatives, which have been supported by the committees and staff of the region. Robert Way is a joint event which was successfully held in Iceland in July 2009, bringing together 2,500 guides and scouts in the 16+ age group from 42 different countries. The regions are now working with the Guides and Scouts of Finland on the planning and preparation of Robert Way 2012. The planning for the regional triennium 2011-13 was done in a way that extended the cooperation between WAGGGS and WOSM. Previously, the 2 plans were combined and any overlaps were working on together. However, this time, the planning was done jointly from the beginning. 3 joint themes were identified by the 2 regional committees working together: growth through quality, embracing change, and volunteering. These were validated by the international commissioners of both WAGGGS and WOSM working together at their forum in Malta in November 2009. Finally, at the joint WAGGGS-WOSM Regional Conference in Brussels in July 2010, the members worked jointly on the plan and identified common actions that could be worked on. This will now be worked on by groups of volunteers from both organizations over the next triennium.
As Gabriela said, the other region that we're going to focus on in this report is the Asia-Pacific region. In Asia-Pacific, the triennium just ending marks a 3rd consecutive period of extensive collaboration and joint work between WAGGGS and WOSM. The members of the WAGGGS Asia Pacific team met with WOSM Regional Director and Chairman in Manila and share experiences and collaborate together. There are only two SAGNOs in Asia Pacific region, India and Nepal, and support for these from the two world organisations for these two national organisations have been provided jointly by WAGGGS and WOSM. For example, the National Strategic Planning exercise in these two countries was undertaken together, reviewing and redrafting their national plans and giving these organisations their direction for the future. Another example is that the WOSM APR Committee NSO visit, which is similar to the PA visit of WAGGGS, the visit to India in May 2010 was also done jointly by members of the APR Scout Committee and two members of WAGGGS Asia Pacific team. And this was very useful, and a similar visit is planned for Nepal in 2011. And again, this will be a joint exercise between WAGGGS and WOSM. These are very specific joint collaborations between WAGGGS and WOSM within the Asia Pacific region. And they've been very fruitful and enriching for both organisations, and has been the regular communication between WOSM Regional Office in Manila and the members of WAGGGS Asia Pacific and their committee and staffs. WAGGGS and WOSM cooperation also sometimes takes the form of joint projects. You may remember that one of our joint projects in the previous triennium was Open Minds Global Foundation. Having decided in June of last year to move away from the direct operational activity, the board of the foundation has now prepared the way for a new strategic focus as a grant aiding body, and grants will be distributed to organisations that make successful applications to this foundation. Another project in which WAGGGS and WOSM have collaborated for some time is Amahora Amani project in the Great Lakes area of Africa, Burundi, Rwanda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. At the end of the first phase of this project in November 2007, the leaders from 7 Scout and Guide associations made an evaluation meeting, at the end of which they took the decision to extend this sub-regional dynamic. With the sole support of the Swedish Scout and Guide Council, the project is still operational in these 3 countries of the Great Lakes sub-region. Today, the project covers 600 active peace clubs, coordinated by 600 community mediators who mentor and assist approximately 21,270 peace officers under the educational supervision of 57 volunteer or trainers. That's respectively over 8,800 girls and young women, and over 12,800 boys and men have been reached by this project. Amahora Amani faces many challenges, including the lack of funds and the permanent resources necessary for the implementation of the project on this scale. Its continuation is, however, characterised by the determination of the young people and their leaders to play a successful and useful part in their respective communities. WAGGGS and WOSM are also cooperating to mark the International Year of Youth, which you've already heard about in earlier presentations. The United Nations proclaimed the International Year of Youth starting on International Youth Day on the 12th of August 2010 and will finish on the 11th of August 2011. The International Year of Youth is an occasion to raise awareness about the situation of young people around the world and increase youth participation in decision-making processes. Under the theme Dialogue and Mutual Understanding, the year aims to encourage and support young people to foster and progress, including the attainment of the Millennium Goal Awards. The UN Programme on Youth, together with WAGGGS and WOSM, have developed an activities kit, a guide to celebrating the International Year of Youth, to provide young people with practical guidance and concrete examples to organise and implement activities throughout this year and beyond. As we all know, WAGGGS have been celebrating a little bit of a celebration themselves, and we're now in the middle of their own centenary celebrations. So to close this report, I would very much like you to see a video, a presentation from WAGGGS that they've made to mark this historic event. Thank you very much.